Hi everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token channel. Hope you guys are having a great day as usual. Let's check out. This is the Hex price prediction. This is the second update, of course, third in the series, and of course, it's been about a week since the last one. So let's check out how we're doing so far. So I've actually added a little bit more structure to the chart, and of course, this is the daily chart on the USDC V2 pair. And let's check out the actions. You can see all the parabolic rises up as we go up. You can see I've added this channel. I think this was actually here in the last one, but I didn't talk about it much. This is the sort of up base trend line here as we're moving up. So we're still above that at the stage. We haven't hit that. You can see we've bounced off that a couple of times here, and pretty standard. So let's zoom in on this area here, and we're going to pull this up as well. This is gonna be pretty fun. Obviously, the price is moving up at the moment, and of course, let's have a look here. So we've got the structure obviously back here on the 19th of September. We had an all-time high, 51 cents. Of course, the spike up to 56, and that's where we're at. And then obviously we had some OGs selling down in here as well. One or two big wallets selling down in particular, and of course that's where we get the price action, of course. But of course, once we have a huge run up like this, it's very tempting, right? Very tempting. And as I say, we were back down here at 12 cents, and then rallied all the way up to this huge crescendo at 51 plus cents. So pretty nice on that. We got a lot of support. Of course, we came up here on the first time on the 16th of July, and we got up around the 8.5% mark, came back down. You guys probably will remember this. And then we came back up, obviously, to touch that at 8.5 cents again and move sideways. And that's when all the action started, of course. And it was a road of glory. You can see all the volume down the bottom here as we marched up there. Pretty huge. Obviously, we've come down, and this is where we're at the moment. So I said that this is the same structure I've had before. I said that we'd pretty much come down here, test support. And of course, if we zoom up on this a bit more and take that up, let's have a look at the decrease, of course. We're going to take it from approximately about here. So we had a little spike down today, down to 18.6 cents. And you would have seen that on my daily update video. So we're down about 67 cents, 67%, give or take, maybe 65 if you want to round it up, 65%. And of course, that's where we're at the moment. So decent correction at this stage. Now, obviously, we've hit this pink line. So this is the support line. This was the bottom, and I said we would hit this probably about middle of November the 15th. And so that was interesting. I'm not sure why my monthly bars have disappeared, but this is the 15th of November, and of course we're tracking pretty well down this line, right? So there we are. Once we get the break, we tried to go up, we hit this again, and of course we came back down and hit this. So I've added this line here, and I've had this structure in here just to give it a bit more obvious where we're going there. So we hit there, we tried to came back up again, and of course we came back down here and tracking pretty well. This is not meant to track exactly to that, just a general direction. And of course the support is pretty clear here at about 18.5 cents. Give or take, plus or minus. So that's where we're at, and we actually touched that today at about what was that price? 18.61 on this chart. So very cool. And this is where we're heading towards the 15th. It's currently only the 5th. Guy Fawkes, of course, and heading here. We've also got the rolling, the 200 moving average here in yellow. So interesting stuff. It's the MA moving average here, and that is currently sitting at 18.2 cents. So we just about touched that as well. So that's actually, we've got structure support here, and we've got, this is in technical analysis, and we've got the 200-day average rolling here too. We also touched the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, which is the bottom 5% of price range. So interesting stuff coordinating there. We're still well above this long-term trend line, as I say, and but we are a lot closer, obviously. Now, obviously, we've got support here, and hopefully we hold it, right? We could, if we go sideways along here, that'd be cool. And then closer we get to this top of this resistance here, we would be able to bust through that. So I've got here move up and about 15th, and then if we get some news around PulseChain, then off we go. Now we've got some interesting stuff going on here. Let me just pull in the full view here. I'm not sure why I've got the day set. Let me just refresh this chart, and hopefully that will pull up my my structure properly on the day like there. Let's have a look. So we're going to go full stretch here. and let's pull this up. And let's hopefully this will reset. Let's go full screen again. Get rid of the indicators at the stage. We're not ready to talk about those. And hopefully that's going to update there. It's just something that happens sometimes. Let's raise that down. We're going to pull down the structure again and pull up the prices. This is a lot better, isn't it? We've got the full structure there, and we'll open that up as well, give you a bit more view. How's that? All right, so we've got December at the end here, and of course the beginning of December, sorry, here, moving on to the end of December. That's the beginning of January, right at the end there. So it gives you perspective. This is the beginning of November. That's the end of November and the beginning of December. So you can see 15th of November here, and of course we're tracking pretty well to this, right? And of course we all want higher prices, so it's just what the chart is, just reality. This is what the chart is, what it's doing at the moment, which is a buy opportunity, right? So buy opportunity for people who want to buy HEX, and also it's a buy opportunity for people wanting to buy and stake HEX. Obviously the T share price is lower, so just take that into account. So it's pretty cool. The other side, of course, is that once if we keep drifting, so we could drift sideways, we don't necessarily need to sort of clamber in here and squeeze in here. We can go sideways here and then move up. Pretty interesting. But we have got support here on the technical analysis, and that's cool. We have also got the 200-day moving average as well and support. So that bodes well. We also have, of course, the Overwatch whale that I talked about in the video the other day, and that was going to buy at 20 cents. Now, whether they buy in particular, whether it stays at 20 cents for a little while and they're going to pick up some, how they actually do that buying is another question, and whether they've actually started buying some at all at the stage is another question too. So I might investigate that and see whether I can come back with that information at all. All right, so very cool. It's hard to know what addresses they actually have if it's not the Overwatch that's related to Overwatch. They're associated to Overwatch, so we'll see what we can find there. But this is where it's at the moment, and of course, if they do come and buy, we could see suddenly quite a big, strong pullback there, buyback as well. Now, this is the other day we actually hit it on the 31st. We actually hit that 20 cent mark just briefly for an hour, so that may have not triggered them buying, but there was a bit of buying up in here. In any case, we're back here. We do have a lot of staking candles coming out. We've got about 5 or 6 of those, if you recall, in the daily videos. We have they're about a week or so apart, most of them. We just have those as well. So where are we at now? So now we're pulling up the future, right? So we're going to pull up the future. We're going to scale up here. Now, I did a video today on the PulseChain update, and of course, that looked very exciting from the lead dev. So check that video out. That's the one I just did. I'll leave the link in the video description afterwards, and you can see this is kind of where we think we will go. So we'll go back up, and by the time this doesn't mean it's going to go exactly along this line. It could just zigzag up here, and by the early, maybe 6th of December, we could have a nice rally back up. Obviously, Wales could do this, or New Year's of PulseChain could do this. We know that the testnet's going to be up running over this next 2 weeks, at least this week or next week. I think that it could run at least through to towards the end of November. Could be quite a short test net. They're going to be doing the distribution test as well. And as I said in today's video, that will be actual data, but provisional. And not the final real data. So just to make sure, hold on to your horses before you see the results that pop up in the old testnet 2.0. All right, so don't need anyone, getting overexcited there. All right, so that's the 1st of December. So we could start seeing this rise up on news, or whales decide to say, hey, we've hit this support. We've got expectations. Maybe we've got heard a few rumors, and we start buying up, like the whale that wants to defend 20 cents. So pretty cool. And of course, that would move up, and we'd end up testing 50 cents. And of course, this is the general trend, and then we'll probably move a bit sideways, just like we did when we tested this on the second time. We went back here, and then we started moving up, right? So pretty cool. So we could do that again, and then start moving up. Right, so the top of this range, of course, is $3.20, and that's by the end of January. Right, so it's the idea that PulseChain does launch in December, and that seemed a bit more optimistic today, given the lead dev of PulseChain saying that really it could have already launched. They're very excited. Obviously, they've got to do practical things around the distribution and validating that mathematically and efficiently, but also the validated nodes that got up and running again, and doing a few other things in there in 2.0. So that's for staking and stuff once we get to PulseChain, and so that's very bullish. Now, so obviously that would be a huge rise up, and of course we'd get another supercharge here. So I've got up here about $3.20. Now this is just the range. Obviously I don't know the exact future, so this may or may not happen. It's not investment advice, that's for sure. But this seems a reasonable move on PulseChain news, which would be massive FOMO. So once again, not investment advice. You need to do your own due diligence, but this is provided my own opinions and for infotainment purposes. But this is kind of the trajectory, and we can see that it repeats itself over here. And of course, we're staying above this long-term mega trend here, and we really want to break this triangle and break out there is the key. So we break out past there, and we're looking pretty good FOMO wise. The other thing, of course, is that we could just track along here sideways instead of that, and this translation would get translated over here, and so the rest of it would all move as well. So all this would move to the right. It really depends on the PulseChain news, and all whales moving earlier. Sometimes they can do that. It's not a guarantee, of course. We do know that they want to defend that, or at least the big one wants to defend 20 cents. So this gives more support to this not breaking down. So that's really the upside. The bearish side, of course, is that we break down further, and we break down to the around about 12 cents. So that would be around about here, and that would be, you know, a 10 to 12 cent mark. We might just boost below this, and that would mean it would take a lot more economic energy to get back up to this resistance line here and break through. So that's the worst case scenario. Now, obviously, let's have a quick look at what that would be. That'd be taking down from here down to, you know, was it 12 cents, something like that. Let's say about here, that'd be about 13 cents. That'd be 76% correction, and of course an 80% correction would be around about 11 cents. And then even further down, 85 would be around about 8.3 cents, which would be quite something, right? And of course, but the cheaper it is, of course, the easier it is to pick up. So people can pick up a lot more volume, especially whales, and that's even more enticing, and they can go up here. But in some cases, they like to defend the price at this decent correction of 65%, say, and hold that line, and that gives a lot more confidence in some ways as well, and also entices more other buyers in, because obviously if someone buys up from here, they've eaten a lot of the cheaper stuff, so it's made a bit of a share and get more money, more total economic energy in. So that's kind of the play so far, on track at this stage. And of course, based on the news, still optimistic now, even slightly more optimistic for December launch. Now, obviously on the 2nd of December, we have the party with Richard, with the documentary on there, with all the giveaways and fanfare. It doesn't seem unreasonable to me, based on what the dev said today, that we could get a 2nd of December announcement about the launch, not the actual launch, but announcements of the launch, and that it could be anywhere, basically like the 15th of December or before Christmas, in which case we just have to move this whole bit just over slightly before the fundamentals start. So interesting stuff. I do think that we're going to get a run up in December of some sort in any case, and so I think that bodes well. But once again, PulseChain is pretty important, and the whales are pretty important. But once it's game on, and this thing will easily start crushing it up through over $1, up towards $1 and over $1. And then, you know, as I say, my upside is about $3.20. Got January, but it is reliant on all the news playing out. And of course, this angle here may be slightly flatter, and so it may take a bit longer to get there, maybe February sort of thing. But I do think it's going to run pretty hard as well. So that's 13.5 minutes. I think it's pretty good for an update, but we have not quite finished. Bonus info. So here we are. Here's hexgraphs.com performance, and it's a great site. I'll leave it in the video description. And of course, it is in all the daily videos as well. You can find the site. I don't normally talk about it, but it's pretty relevant for the price thing. You can sort of see here at the moment it was 62% on here, just give or take when you're actually doing it. And of course, we've had 62% days on the current one. We're about 65, 66% at the moment. We had 63% on the last pullback, so pretty similar to this one. 49% on this one. It was 9 days. 45% on this one. 69% on this one. 86 on this one. 68% on this one. 72% on this one. 82 on this one. So we've only had 2 days where we had the over 80. We've had 1 day when, or 2 days when it's around about 70. But we've had about 3 days when we're in this range in the 60s, and 2 days in the 40s, 50s. So you can sort of see this might be the end of it here. It might be the end of it, and I think so. I think we're tracking pretty well to that. But in any case, someone big sells down. All you need is one big account selling down, and that would be the case. We've still got 5 or 6 candles coming out, so we just have to keep monitoring it. But so far, as I say, the chart's still holding up pretty well with the structure. All right, hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe, like, and share, and hit the bell for further videos. And of course, leave comments in the chat. I love seeing the comments. And yeah, this is a weekly update. So hopefully next week when I update, it's the 6th, the 5th. So maybe around about the 12th will be just before this part here, and we'll see where we lie. All right, I'll catch you next one. Hope you enjoyed this one, and have a great day. Bye for now.